we will continue using Fluid Designer in this laboratory, and we will demonstrate how you can use Fluid to generate a code for C++ class. If you recall from previous laboratory, we've created a function which was encapsulating creation of a window and creation of all of its widgets and basically taking care of the configuration. Here we'll have a class that represents this window. The advantage of this approach is that then when we have this class generated by Fluid, and I clearly mark its name by CFluidWindow, we can then derive our own class, and I call it simply demo window, but in reality this would be reflecting the name of actual application. So we can create our own class which will supply all the callbacks, and therefore we can handle user interface design in the class generated by Fluid and focus on business rules and actual user action implementation inside our own class. So we'll be doing our best effort to separate the user interface design from the actual implementation of our application logic. So Fluid will generate for us two files, a header file and the implementation file with extension CXX. That will be implementing the user interface design. As you know from previous lab, Fluid saves its own project file with extension FL. So it is best to keep the files managed by Fluid in a dedicated subdirectory. It just makes sense so that we can keep track of the Fluid work and Fluid artifacts. So we'll create Fluid project. Just be careful to use this exact name. I copy it from here by pressing Ctrl+C, and I will now go to my new folder that I created in previous step. And you can see that at this level, at the level of the project subfolder, I will right click and say new folder and paste Fluid project. So you can see again clearly that we have the list of our labs. The project name is lab 3 window class, and here we have a source where so far we have just the main function implementation file, and now we'll have Fluid project, which of course right now is empty because I just created this project. And after that we can start our Fluid program. Remember that under C255 labs we have our external subfolder, and here we copied the Fluid executable from our Fulltick library download and build, and I'm just going to start this executable by double clicking on it. So this should look familiar. This is our Fluid graphical user interface designer. It opens the widget bin automatically. If you want to keep it without the widget bin, you can always click to close it, and after that you can just click edit and show widget bin. So this will open the widget bin if you have closed this this window. As before, our first step is going to say file and create new, and we'll just accept this blank template. I'm just going to click new right here, and right away we can just say file and save as, and point this to our new project location. So be careful not to point to the wrong location, because Fluid remembers the previous location that I was using. And so I need to be able to navigate correctly to my current project, which is Lab 3. and this is the Fluid project subfolder that I want to use. So this is the entire folder that should be the correct placement of a new project. This is important because in this directory, Fluid will generate C++ code, which we'll be including in our project. So this is it. Let's give it the same name as our project. So this can be anything you want, but if you save it with this specific name, CFluidWindow, then Fluid will be using these names to generate the code. So this is important to keep it as specified right here, because then we can just copy and paste from this handout and be able to include the correct files and use the same naming that we're going to be using inside Fluid. So just let's do this, and I can copy this entire file name from here and paste it as a file name for Fluid to save. So make sure that this is under Lab 3, under Fluid project, and here. All of this is important because if you make a mistake in any of the names, there will be problems down the road when we're going to start including Fluid files generated by Fluid for us. So I just saved it, and the project is quite empty. There is nothing in Fluid project right now. The project window is empty. Our next step is going to be adding a class inside Fluid. So Fluid can work with C++ classes, and so the steps is to name the class CFluidWindow. Right? So I'm copying this name from here, and I'll follow new code class right here. So this simple dialog box opens, and all we want here is just to use the name that we would like to be able to specify. None of the other windows are needed right here, so just click OK, and you see that we have now CFluidWindow. So we can, if you'd like to quickly check the code that Fluid will generate for us, it's possible to go to Edit and Show Source Code. Right here, Show Source Code. Right. So this will show you the source. Right now this class is empty, so this will be just including the header file. And in the header part, you can see that Fluid is about to give us declaration of our class right here in the file that will be generated for us. So I'm just going to say close, and it's just a quick preview of what Fluid keeps inside of its project configuration. So this is useful function.